This is Jason from McGuires Clocks. Today we're going to take a look at a Herschede model 228. It's from approximately the late teens to the early 1920s. It is made out of solid mahogany top to bottom, stands 97 inches tall. It is a 9-tube Herschede movement. It's a beautiful clock. It's a rather simple case until you get to the top. These columns are full columns. They go all the way around. Hand carved caps on them. And then this top piece up here is probably the best part of the clock. That's all hand carved, hand assembled. Lots of little details on it. This case has been refinished, though according to the person that owned it for the last 40 years, it was done before they purchased it. So I'm not 100% sure how long ago, but it was definitely more than 40 years ago. It's got beveled glass on the sides of it. Let's see there. Plays Westminster, Canterbury, and Whittington. A little more detailing down here on the side. And it's hard to see because the feet are old, but there is some detailing down here on the feet also. And the columns, they go from smaller around at the top, and they get bigger around at the base of them. It is a very large clock. Front glass has all this nice woodwork in it. The movement's been taken out. Any bushings that need replaced were replaced. Cleaned, oiled, everything's ready to go. Dial is as it was original. And looking at it, the lunar calendar is painted. I can't guarantee it is in such good shape. It may have been redone at some point. It could be original, but it is in really good shape. So I can't promise whether that's 100% original or not. Dial's in really nice shape. Some of the filigree here, it's missing some of the silver on the dial. Happens over time. Stuff's like toothpaste, it'll just wipe off if you're not real nice to it. And given it's bordering 100 years old, it's doing pretty good. So that was it just chiming now. I'll go ahead and play it again here in a minute. But the tubes in the back, I had a company take the tubes, the weights, the pulleys, the pendulum rod and disc, and they've all been cleaned. The weights tend to get handprints on them. No one ever remembers to handle them with cloths or gloves, so we always have those cleaned and the tubes cleaned. Just to make them look new again. And go over here to the side. The side doors on this lock, they also have nice woodwork on them. The cloth has been replaced on them. You can see the movement inside of there. It's your standard Herschede 9-tube movement. This rack was also taken out and just cleaned, just because this came out of a New Orleans originally, so there was a little bit of rusting on this carriage here, so I had them take that out of there just to make sure it didn't get any worse. Everything else was in good shape. Place the leather in the hammers, new strings for the hammers. So before I chime this, I'm going to stand back and turn the phone up just so you can see how tall it actually is. It is a huge clock. The ceilings in here are 9 and some change feet tall, and it's about 8 inches away from it. It's a full 97 inches, maybe even a little bit more. All right, so let's take a listen to it. I'm going to play it on Whittington. It helps keep the video a little bit shorter. That way you can hear all the notes that are in there without me having to go through each and every song. That is a Herschede model 228. A little side note, in doing research on this clock, which there was very little information out there, I did find that back in the early 20s there was a notorious bootlegger that owned this same style of clock. His name was George Remus. He was a pretty famous bootlegger. Used to have lots of parties at his house, and this was a central item in his house. Just a little information. You can come take a look at it. It's McGuires Clocks. Phone number's 512-452-4558. McGuiresClocks.com. And you can find us on McGuires Clocks on Facebook also. Thank you.